what refusal to deal is? We found it in two ways. The first one, according to the Federal Trade Commission, is when a business with a dominant power, a monopoly, may violate antitrust law by refusing to do business with other firms. A monopolist will try to do this in order to remain dominant in the market, or sometimes they will even try to monopolize another market. Also, even though a business can decide whether they want to do a business with someone or not due to their rights, some governments, like Mexico, tries to avoid a monopoly. So, if the government can prove that the company refuses to sell products or services to their rivals, they will consider this as a refusal deal.
The second definition is when an enterprise tries to refuse to deal to some customers or suppliers with the goal of preventing those to make deals with their rivals or with the competitors, or they also avoid selling to their customers in order to increase their prices.
We have our supply and our demand, one and one. Here we have our equilibrium point. But what happens when we have a refusal to deal? Well, the company decided that they won't sell anymore to a certain people in the demand. So, because they won't sell them anymore, we have this gap from Q1 to Q2. This is the loss they have in the demand. So, because they have less in the demand, they have to increase their price. So we have a new point of equilibrium from here to here. The supply line goes this way, to the left. And price 1 goes up to price 2.
Another term that derives from refusal to deal is predatory pricing, and is when companies tend to set very low prices in order to eliminate the competition. This act is illegal according to the antitrust laws, since this practice will tend to promote monopolies. Some of the practices could be denying the access to market to competitors, unethical production methods to reduce costs, etc. Predatory pricing occurs during a price war, and frequently it is difficult to prove because it can be identified as a price competition. In short term, it will benefit the customers because they can acquire products at a very low price, but in the long term, it will benefit more to the company because it will create a monopoly and they will be able to set any price they want to the products they are selling.
Okay, so what happens after a predatory pricing is this. We have our marginal revenue is equal to our marginal cost. So in this point, in this equilibrium point, we'll have a maximized profit. Also, because it is a graph of a monopoly, and as we can see in this graph, no firms will enter, and this company is having supernormal profits. This is a graph short run and long run equilibrium.
In an inelastic product, it won't matter if they decide to reduce the quantity and increase their price, they will still not lose demand. However, if they do refuse to deal in an elastic demand, it will be harmful because they will lose quantity and they will lose in general more demand.